Welcome to Foodie. Today we're going to make a pork and coconut curry. It sounds like it's got some really nice flavors mixed in there. So let's get started. So I've got kind of a deep dish frying pan. You could use a stock pot if you wanted. And I've got about a tablespoon, 1 or 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. And I've seen different kinds in the store. This here it's almost like a kind of thick. And again, I don't know how important this is, only because maybe it's called pork and coconut curry. I read up on coconut oil and there's no flavor, no taste, no smell. So if you don't want to go get that, you can just use regular olive oil. Or if you do get it, you can use this in place of olive oil to use it up later. So we'll get this coconut oil melted. All right, we got this melted pretty good. This recipe is gonna serve like 2, maybe 3 people. So obviously if you have a family, feel free to double it. I've got 8 ounces or half a pound of ground pork. And you know, I thought it might be interesting if you just use breakfast sausage. It might really kind of give it some flavor too, but we're just going to use the ground pork today. All right, so I've got this like on a medium. I'm just going to push this down a little bit, and then we can get going on some of the other ingredients while this cooks. I'm not sure if I got that last part on video. All I did was I took the pork, flipped it over. Now we're going to brown this other side. Then once it's brown, we'll be able to chop this up into smaller pieces. So we cooked it about 2 or 3 minutes on one side, flipped it. Now we're going to cook 2 or 3 minutes on this side. And then we'll chop it up into little pieces. All right, the pork looks like it's about done. So we're just going to chop this up into little pieces. Turn this down to medium-low. Okay, you know the recipe doesn't call to drain this pork grease out of here, so I'm not going to do it. We'll see how it tastes. All right, let's put in our medium onion that we sliced in and then cut the slices in half. We'll get those cooking. We'll add our ginger. That was about a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger grated. And then our thinly sliced 4 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna turn this back up to medium. To put some interesting spices in here, I'll put in a half a teaspoon of ground turmeric, a half a teaspoon of curry powder, and then what I'm using, I use this Burberry. It's an African spice. I used it on another recipe. I think it was a soup recipe a while back. And it's really got such a good blend of spices. It's going to be good in almost everything. Let me read some of the spices. It's got coriander, allspice, fenugreek seed, cardamom, chilies, ginger, nutmeg. So it's just got a ton of really nice flavors. So I'm going to put in a half a teaspoon of that as well. So we'll cook these until the onions get tender. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, and I guess the reason why we didn't drain that grease out of there with all these spices in there, it's going to make a nice little paste. So yeah, this is going to be good. And since we're just using the ground pork and not breakfast sausage, let's add a little bit of salt, and maybe a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon. All right, so now I'm going to add what I'm using is a jalapeno down here in Texas, of course. It's one pretty large jalapeno that I have seeded and took the membranes out. just to give it some good flavor, not necessarily too much heat. You know, you can use your red chili pepper, serrano pepper, whatever your favorite hot pepper is. All right, so we're gonna continue to just cook this for a couple more minutes till we get those onions tender and this pepper cooked nice and tender. All right, this looking nice. The turmeric gives it a nice yellow color. And I think our vegetables are tender. So now I'm gonna add 6 ounces of cream of coconut. You can use coconut cream, coconut milk. We're gonna add about a 1/4 cup of water. I'm gonna turn this down to medium-low. So we're gonna have this just at a simmer, and we're gonna let this simmer for about 5 minutes. And hopefully the sauce will kind of thicken up a little bit. All right, the sauce has gotten a little bit thick. I'm just gonna taste it and see if we need to add any salt or pepper. Wow, that's really got a nice flavor. I don't know what is it the most flavor, but yeah, it's really good. It's got a little bit of a sweet and a little bit salty. All right, so we're basically ready to serve this up. Okay, our rice is done. We're going to serve this on a bed of rice. I'm going to try to squeeze some of the liquid out and just put the meat and vegetables, and then we'll drizzle some of the juice on top. So yeah, I would say this probably serves 2 people. So we'll top it with some fresh chopped cilantro. I'm going to put on top also some toasted coconut flakes. This will hopefully give it a little bit of a crunch. I'm going to put a little dollop of sour cream just on the side, so if you want it, you can take it. And then the doctor told me if I got all this coconut, I got to put some lime with the coconut and drink it all up. So, oh, that looks delicious. All right, let's try some of this pork and coconut curry. Oh, I like that. It's really good. Yeah, it's got a little bit of crunch, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sour. I really like the lime juice on there. If you want it more savory, I would definitely use unsweetened coconut milk. I use cream to coconut, and it's kind of sweet. So if you like the sweeter side of it, it's more like a sweet and sour, then you can use the coconut cream with the sugar in it. But yeah, this is really good. I like it. So a little bit of heat, not too much spice, but a little bit. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to Ed Foodie right over there. And thank you for watching.